Hello everybody, Caden here today with another episode of our zoo series, and today, I'll be completely honest, I have actually no idea what animals are getting added in today, mostly because I just have a random collection of various creatures that I think are actually all from the same mod, but yeah, we're just gonna get a couple of African animals in today. I'm sure the thumbnail will, episode title or whatever, will have more information than I currently have, because future Caden has done all that, and not current Caden, which is also past Caden when you're watching this. Time is weird. But yeah, anyway, this is all gonna be going in, probably in and around this area that we set up right next to the rhinos, kind of capping off our savanna area. I feel like I had something else. Oh yeah, so there's been a few things I've been working on also, aside from just trying to set this up. Okay, so a lot of requests have come in recently after the world tour for the Australian area. So like kangaroos, Tasmanian devils, emus, all that kind of stuff. And I've been trying to get all that prepped, so you can see we actually have a pathway that connects all the way around the back of the reptile house now, which I think it will lead to the Australian area, probably off one of the areas right around here. We'll have a path come out this direction, and those enclosures will be somewhere around here. Meanwhile, the pathways over here will continue on with the Asiatic section with, I don't know, whatever we've gotten here. I think we've only got like five animals. So, or six actually. I think we may actually six, because I think we have 2 rhinos for this area. So yeah, that's gonna be that. That may also be a bridge. Maybe. I haven't really decided yet. I'll be honest, this whole back part of the zoo is kind of an enigma. But yeah, so that's currently what we're working on. So actually, I guess I should show what animals we actually have. Is it 5? So we got Wildebeest, Oryx, zebras, okapis, giraffe. Probably won't do the okapi today, because I want to do more of a tropical exhibit for that, because they tend, I think they're from the Congo? I believe they're from the Congo, so that's much more of a tropical area. But we might try and do these 4 today. I think the Oryx will have its own exhibit. The zebra and the wildebeest can probably, well, I guess all 3 of those could technically go in the same exhibit, but maybe we'll have the giraffes in their own. Or I guess, could I just throw giraffes inside of this exhibit? There's a theory there, and it might just work. That being said, I could, in fact, throw an ostrich or 2 into the giraffe exhibit to kind of give it more stuff. But we'll see. Anyway, I think I'm gonna get started, because at a bare minimum, we need about 3 exhibits over here. So I've got to figure out how exactly that's gonna work, because we also need a pathway probably to head out this direction, and space for buildings and all sorts of cool stuff over here. So I got to figure out how this is all gonna look. So yeah, I'm gonna prototype some stuff, and yeah, we'll figure that out. All right, so I have a bit of a layout now. It's not very symmetrical, but I think that's okay. I think that'll be all right. I guess it doesn't. Well, I mean, not many things in real life are all that symmetrical, but we have these set up for a basic 2 exhibits, I guess. Note these are definitely subject to change, and probably will change quite a bit before we get a final design for either. But I've only made 2, because if we quickly fly over here, I ended up deciding to do something else for one of the animals, that being the giraffes. Okay, so those are gonna need name tags because they've despawned. All right, well, I'll do that next time, I guess. But I spent a bit too much time doing this, but basically I'm trying to figure out an expansion to this exhibit so I can actually throw the giraffes in here. And I think that'll work out all right. It's got plenty of space, and I can definitely add space to the shelter and make it a bit taller if I need to as well. So I think that's all gonna be marginally okay, for now at least. So that means, in fact, that our 2 exhibits over here are going to be, although saying that now. Right. We do have Oryx. Those are desert, I think, right? I think they're desert animals. But maybe something like the Oryx would fit better in there. And instead, we throw like the zebras and the wildebeest in, say, this one, and we throw the giraffes in that one. Maybe. You know what? Once again, like I said, I don't know how any of this is actually going together. That's for future Caden to figure out with his future knowledge that he has, because he's in the future and he has already built all this stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not him, so I have no idea what's going on. I do think overall this is going to turn out pretty well. I think the basic layout of the exhibit is going to very much follow what we've done for the past couple of African Savanna type exhibits, because I think it's a good format. It's worked pretty well so far. The style. How did you get up there? Actually, wait, no. How? Is it the tree? I bet it's the tree. All right, if I cut that off, I don't think they could get out that way then. I think. Come on, get back in. Get back in. Just gonna give you a little nudge until you're not out of the exhibit. Okay, that's not gonna work. Let's get a lead. And there you go. Okay, no more escaped elephants, right? No more escaped elephants? No more escaped elephants? Where is the last elephant? Did we have an escaped elephant? No, we don't. Oh, that was cool. But yeah, anyway, that's kind of where we're at right now. So yeah. I gotta figure out, I do really like the curved shapes for these. I think those look pretty good. They look very, I don't know, this feels more zoo-like to me to have big curved exhibits like that, because I feel like that tends to be a bit closer to how they actually look. Which I think should work well since well, I was gonna say a lot of these are more straight-edged exhibits, but I guess they aren't. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get back to work and figure out how the, I guess, landscaping is gonna look on this. So yeah. All right, I finally made a decision. This is gonna be the Oryx exhibit, and this will be the zebras and wildebeest. I think that's what the plan is. So yes, giraffes going all the way over there as I slowly expand that exhibit. Anyway, we're getting kind of close with this build now. I finally got the terrain kind of figured out. I've got the exhibits kind of figured out as well. I'm gonna try using trapdoors here instead of slabs, mostly because this one's a bit lower. I don't really know why I decided to make this one a lot lower than the other one. I almost think it's because I looked at the Oryx and I was like, yeah, no, those things have some pretty interesting horns. Probably don't want those too close to the guests. Also, it was still kind of a giraffe exhibit at that point, so I was like, it probably needs to have a bit more of a separation. But yeah, that made it kind of hard to see part of the exhibit with the slabs up here. So yeah, we're gonna try this and see if it looks okay. I can't use them over here though, because they don't count as a full block or even half a block, so things can jump up through a slab. Actually, I can demonstrate that, can't I? Yeah, so like, they can just escape like that. So we can't use them here, but that should hopefully be okay. I mean, I guess I could use them and just put a barrier block on top of them so nothing can hop on top of them, but we'll get there when we get there, you know, I'll figure that out later. But yeah, I think the exhibits are starting to come together. We've got the outline of the shelter back here. I'm trying to think actually. I don't think I've done a proper, oh, we did do a diagonal shelter. I forgot we did one over here. All right, because I was gonna say, I think this is our first diagonal shelter. It isn't, apparently, though. And this one's diagonal as well. I have been doing diagonal shelters. Okay, you know what? I was gonna say, wow, I'm finally doing something different. I feel like I try to do something different with each build, but we don't always have to. I mean, I guess this does have its own special thing in that it's built on a diagonal axis versus you know, being built usually straight on. So I guess like instead of a, what would this be, like a flat, it's more of a curved, I don't really know. Anyway, that's all nonsense. It's not really important. Basically, I'm trying to figure out what the plan for the rest of this build now. Not super sure what it's gonna be. I mean, the bigger thing I need to figure out is actually how is this going to continue along out here? How is the rest of this going to go? What's the back of this going to look like? You know, all the fun, important questions I don't really want to have to figure out just yet. But yeah, anyway, I think this is all turning out pretty good. So, yeah. I don't really know what else to say right now. I probably should have figured something out. I guess I could place this down real quick, because on one hand, I don't want this video to be like, 10 minutes, but on the other hand, I'm like, I kind of did most of the big important stuff that took like absolute ages to do. That being said, this episode's still gonna go out later than I meant it to, because I've spent too long on this and didn't start it early enough in the morning. But, that's who cares, right? Yeah. Man, I wish I was better at getting this stuff out on time. Yeah, we can throw a couple of rocks. I think I am going to try and do something a bit more akin to the rhino exhibit concerning plant life in here, which basically just means I'm going to try my hardest to avoid putting trees in the actual exhibit and going for a bit more of a slightly more realistic thing. So like if I do put some trees in, they're probably gonna have some sort of thing protecting the base of them, so that way the animals don't like destroy them. But you never know, we'll see what happens. I feel like since this is meant to be more of like, plains type animals, there probably shouldn't be too many rocks in this one. And this one might have different rocks, because I kind of want to go for an even more arid kind of environment for this one. See, I guess I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, I guess we'll get to work on the interiors. All right, so in the interest of mostly the fact that this video has taken a very long time to make, and I accidentally forgot to hit the record button as I kind of just got in the zone while building, it's mostly done. The interior of the shelter isn't, and there's a reason for that. And that is, I just did not feel like finishing it right now. Because, like I said, it's getting late into the day, and I haven't uploaded anything in a while, and I kind of need to get this video out. So yeah, we're not exactly gonna finish the interior of it, of at least the shelter. I think it's okay without it being 100% done. It will be finished probably on my own time. I'll come back through here and just kind of get it all fixed up and all that stuff. So it'll look a lot better pretty soon. Don't worry about it. Do not worry. Actually, we can quickly just throw some stuff up here. I don't know why I've made this part of the building much taller. I think I'm gonna make this a bit more of a hybrid building up back here. So it was originally just going to be a zookeeper entrance area, but I think I'm kind of wondering now if I also want this to be a bit of like a barn. So like this up here might be a massive hayloft, because I mean, we're going to have a bunch of pretty large herbivores over here, so it would make sense that they probably want an area to store a lot of food nearby them. So I think that is what we are going to go with for now, at least. And it'll probably change its appearance a little bit as I decide how I really want to work on this. But yes, that is why the exhibit technically isn't 100% complete, but we're gonna just go with it anyway. I know people don't always like it when I do that, but you know what? I think it's okay for today, because I do know I'm gonna finish this all. But anyway, yeah, this is what I ended up with exhibit-wise. And I have to say, I really like both of them. I think they both turned out pretty well. And I managed to, much like the rhinos over here, be a bit more reserved with the plants. There's no actual trees in the exhibits. There's some trees in the dividers. But like the zebra and wildebeest one, very little plants, not even all that many grasses. And then the Oryx exhibit, I may have gone a bit more overboard, because I threw in a few more desert plants, but I tried to keep the overall grass level pretty low. I think it turned out pretty well. Also, I found out, I think it's the Unnamed Animal mod has this salt block. And I don't know, I felt like a salt lick made sense for these guys, so I gave them one. Well, they have one, and I guess these guys have two. I should probably throw one in the rhino exhibit, or in the rhinos at some point, so Might get down to doing that at some point soon. Anyway, today, or not today, let's get our animals in. So these, the wildebeest are by far the derpiest of all the animals in this, but we'll get about 3 of them in, and then let's get like 2, 3, 4, 5 zebras. And I'm just chucking a name tag on all of these guys just to make sure they don't despawn. But yeah, there we go, we got that. It's actually not too bad. It'll look a little bit better when that's not quite so dark and ominous, but I think that's okay. And then of course, you know, we'll get some more plant life going around the back end of this eventually. And then of course we have our Oryx, which I actually really like. Oh, you know what? I should have looked this up. No, we do not have Gemsbach. Okay. I was just suddenly like, oh, I'm pretty sure I had a mod in the past that had those, but I guess we don't have them anymore. But yeah, those look pretty good. And yeah, I was talking about with the horns, I felt like they probably shouldn't be super close. That being said, the zebras, much like the rhinos, are very aggressive animals. Both of these are very aggressive animals. And the fact that they're yeah, I guess hypothetically they'd be able to get close to people is kind of concerning. But yeah, I think that's okay. I think we can throw another wildebeest or 2 in here. Ironically, I think the exhibit looks good here. And I don't think it's bone meal that, or like adding more grass, and that's the problem. I think this just needs more color in it for some reason. And maybe I'm just kind of crazy and people may say that, but let's see about like this, like some small flower bushes. Because if we fly up here, I don't know, it feels oddly too dark. Maybe I should just remove like one of these trees. Let's like remove this and just kind of see what this looks. That's a bit better. Maybe it just needs a bit more sunlight. I don't really know, but I think the Oryx exhibit is definitely my favorite out of these. I think this one looks pretty awesome. Well, and these, I think they also look a lot better than the wildebeest do. The wildebeest look kind of super derpy. The zebras are all right, but I really like these Oryx. They're actually really nice looking. But yeah, anyway, that's the exhibit for today. Shelter's pretty typical. Haven't gotten all the sunshades going around the outside yet, but I think the barn idea will be really cool. Maybe we'll tinker around with how this looks a little bit more and try and figure out some other additions we can add. But I think for the most part, this is a pretty good way to cap off the Savannah section. Although, you know what? Before we end today's episode, let's also get some giraffes in here. Even though I haven't finished expanding this exhibit yet, let's just spawn 1, 2. Now they look very derpy in my opinion, but not as derpy as the way they walk, which, yeah, they kind of like do this like pigeon walk, and it's very hilarious. At least I think it is. But yeah, I'll come back through and upgrade this exhibit a bit, basically just upgrading their shelter a little bit more and making it a bit taller for them. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I think our Savannah area is like really coming together quite well now. So yeah, and I think these are the last Savannah exhibits I'm planning on doing. We'll do a couple, like I said, more tropical looking exhibits for the, what are they called? Like the gorillas, chimpanzees, okapi, all that kind of stuff. I don't exactly know where those are going yet. Probably somewhere out this direction. But yeah, those are hopefully gonna happen pretty soon. Or maybe we'll do the Australian area. Who knows? You guys can let me know in the comments down below what you'd like to see. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you've all enjoyed. And until next time, guys. See ya.